This season was a bad one for both Burnley and Sheffield United. Neither side really put up a fight to survive against relegation. And while Sheffield United did try and change their manager mid-season, Burnley didn't, and somehow he's landed the Bayern Munich job now. So I'm going to take over Burnley in the Championship, while my dad is going to become the Sheffield United manager, as we aim to rebuild them for 5 seasons. You were never in the relegation zone.
To the last game of the season.
Until you lost the last game of the season.
Oh dear.
A reminder of the points tally is as follows. You gain 1 point for a higher league finish, 1 point for a victory over each other, 1 point for eliminating each other from a cup competition, 3 points for a domestic cup win, 4 points for a domestic league win, 5 points for a Europa/Europa Conference win, and 7 points for the Champions League win.
Dad, today we're taking on the 2 relegated sides that are not Luton Town.
Yeah, well, we've done a Luton one, haven't we? So
yeah, so I think I might actually attack a Luton Town 10-year takeover myself, to be fair.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of, we've got Dad's Glory Hunter, which is probably going to come out either this week or definitely next week. And Dad's done a Birmingham takeover of 10 seasons, and I gave him a few challenges. So that will come out a couple of weeks after that. So there's lots of things to come out. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out.
I'm trying to do a better job than Wayne Rooney, who just took over the Plymouth Argo job.
Yeah. So today we're trying to do a better job than Heckingbottom and Vincent Kompany.
Yeah.
Who somehow managed to fail upwards and get the Bayern Munich job.
How did he do that? Yeah, it's
no
great,
idea. But he did get this Burnley side relegated after a very good championship season. I chose Burnley. You allowed me to choose first.
Yeah, I thought it was fair enough, because usually you give me the chance of choosing who I want, so I thought, well, be fair, let you have a go, because it was one of those teams. They were both sort of like, I want to say bad teams, but they both got relegated, so I don't think it made much difference really.
No, so I'm taking over, as you can see, at Turf Moor. Dad is taking over at Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. So yeah, we've got 2 fairly even sides. I think where I'm better on the wings in midfield, you've got some really good strikers.
Yeah,
I think that's something that actually you benefit from. You
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Transfers going into the Championship might be a bit of an easier season, a bit of an easier time than what these clubs will actually have in the Championship, because we're using the updated database. What it doesn't do in the updated database is make all your players crapper when they do terrible going into... We've still got basically what they were in the winter update, so we haven't like made them worse. Yeah, downgraded them. So, and we struggled to sell them.
Oh,
couldn't sell anybody. And I think that's again because of the updated database.
And it was hard to buy players of a certain caliber that you need as well. But I mean,
we're in the Championship.
You're looking at. I think we're used to sort of playing with better teams now. You're looking at sort of like a 3.5 to 4 star, and you just couldn't get them.
No.
I mean, I struggled with a couple of players.
You picked up Kaiki to begin with from Manchester City.
Yeah,
very cheap option there. Malang Sarr from Chelsea for 800k on the transfer list.
I mean, like you said, I've got a very good strike force, so I'm just strengthening my defense up here.
He's solid too.
Yeah.
And then finally, you got Marius Wolf from Borussia Dortmund.
This is a very good caliber. So he goes right up the sidelines as well. So get the ball across.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, good.
And you, Dad, are playing a 4-3-3 narrow.
I'm attacking. I've got the attack force to do it, so I just felt like that was the tactic to go with. Use the best players I've got in the team.
Okay, and if you did pick without restriction, this is what I mean about the strikers. You've got Ryan Brewster, Ollie McBurney, and Cameron Archer, who is phenomenal for the Championship level. So you've got 3 really good strikers, not to mention there's a couple on the bench who would be quite good as well. Benny Traore's not half bad, and Usula actually is, for Championship level, still decent.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's like your 3rd best striker there. So lots of options to play around with. That's the starting 11.
I thought my midfield was very good, very solid.
Yeah, let's have a look to see what I've counter-done at Burnley. I've actually sold a couple of players. Vitinho went for £6.5 million. Got Twine left for like £1 million. There's a couple of players here, who left for a little bit more. I mean, there was actually... I sold a player for £7.5 million. I actually got quite a lot from loan deals. Manuel Benson went out for £4.5 million for a loan deal, which I couldn't believe. And Noah Masengo as well, gone to Zaragoza. And it allowed me to bring in some players. Now, obviously, Mike Trezor is a deal that's already done before I joined the club, because I definitely want to spend £18 million going into the Championship. But what I have spent is £5 million, 4.8 on Courtney House. left-footed centre-back, very similar to your Malang Sarr deal, really.
Yeah.
And then Leandro Morgala, £5 million. I've seen him develop into a quality defender. I've tried loaning him out. It didn't quite work, so we'll just have to see if he can progress a little bit at the club, because £5 million now could be 20 million later on down the line if he progresses quite well. But my favourite two signings, I've got Charlie Patino, a really good young English centre attacking midfielder, and Joe Rego. Now, the other thing that's difficult in the Championship, of course, is work permits.
Yeah.
You don't get work permits as often as what you would in the Premier League, because the players that you're going for are not gaining enough points to gain a work permit. We do have the allocate ESC points, but Joe Rego, one of the players that didn't need it. And I'm quite surprised by that. He is a wonder kid on Football Manager, so picking him up for £13 million is an absolute steal. Not quite a first-team caliber player.
No, but he just come from the Benfica B side, didn't he?
Yeah. So I'm going to start both him and Charlie Patino. If I give him the game time now in a league that I should be going up, I could benefit from it later on.
Definitely, yeah.
Which is something you don't like doing.
No, I don't. I mean, this is the difference between me and you. You recognise players as well. You know that he was a good player, and you sort of like, you will gamble on things. Like, I'd buy a player for now, don't I? He's in, and I want him to be in my starting lineup, don't I?
Yeah.
So
if I went my best 11, neither of those two go in there.
No.
In fact, Masengo is not even at the club. I do have Wout Weghorst for one more season before he will inevitably not want to sign another deal. But I've even got a libero on defender to step up into that role there. Courtney House is quite good on libero on defend, but the actual two wing-backs are also on defend. So we're kind of just allowing these front five to then just have at it, really. With Sander Berge dropping back as well as a ball winner. So, yeah, let's have a look at the schedule so far then. I've had a couple of draws, but only 2 in the actual league. No losses so far. Blackburn and Southampton. So, 2 difficult games, really. Beat the likes of Middlesbrough and Bristol City, Luton, who also obviously came down with us as well, and Bolton, who came up. I drew 3-3 with them. So, this database isn't quite accurate because obviously it would be Oxford, but one that I've got simulates all the way up into the playoffs, which is the reason why Bolton came up instead of Oxford. But that's the only real changes that you're going to see. But yeah, my next actual month is really difficult, and that ends with you, in fact. So
yeah,
we'll have to see how that gets on. Dad, your schedule so far. You beat Bolton in the first game 6-2. Lost to Leeds in the EFL first round of the Cup, but we don't really worry about that right now. Our main aim is to get back in the Premier League.
Straight back into the league, and I beat Leeds.
Beat Leeds in the same stadium as well, 2-0. Nice and comfortably. Beat Portsmouth after their promotion. Southampton 1-1 draw against them. Watford 4-0 and then 5-1 against Stoke. You've started to find your feet as we go into the main crux of it. And you've got Plymouth as well as Burnley coming up in the Championship in the next following month.
Good start for me as well. So 2 good starts, really, I think.
Yeah. Now, we should say, although we said the league table at the start, winning the Championship isn't classed as winning the league in what we're going to do here, because we're going into the Premier League, which is a higher division, so it's just going to be a point for finishing higher if you win it, or promotion is kind of the same. So with all that being said, how fast can we get back into the Premier League? And then that question is, can we survive and stay there, unlike what these two teams did this season? Let's find out. Season 1, Dad, you take the lead.
112 points. I mean, actually, both over 100 points.
Yeah.
That's bloody good, isn't it?
We stuffed it, really. Southampton come up with us, beating Luton in the playoff final there. But you lost 6 games. One of them was against me as well, which of course is a point. So you finish higher in the league.
You only lost 5.
Yeah, I actually lost
You drew
less.
11. That's where you lost out on, really.
My away form was bad. You did beat me though, so it's 2-1 in terms of points in that season. You finished higher, you beat me, but I also beat you. That's 1 point each there.
I was scoring goals.
Scored 119 goals, 8 against Plymouth. Conceded 45, just 1 less than what I did, so your goal difference is far superior. You definitely deserve to go up. Was it tight at the top? Did you stay at the top the whole season? Yeah, pretty much. There was a little bit of a time there where I overtook you, but you stayed on top for the rest of the season there.
That's good that we dominated the league, didn't it?
Yeah. Cameron Archer, 30 goals, Dad.
We did say that. Anyway. Good strike force up there.
26 from Wout Weghorst and
I had the
Carl
average
Morris.
rating as well. Look.
Yeah, Ryan Brewster's there. He had 24 goals. He was 4th.
Yeah.
And he had the highest average rating. Cameron Archer had the most man of the matches, James Trafford with the most clean sheets.
Good keeper.
Yeah, so we started off very well. Any cup competitions? I imagine probably not. Fifth round in the FA Cup by Man United isn't bad. Fourth round by Bournemouth. So 2 Premier League teams knocked me out. That's
good, yeah.
Not bad at all. And Dad, yourself,
Manchester
first
United
round
as well.
by Leeds. Third round by Man United. So that's a bad third round draw, really.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at your goals. So we know Cameron Archer scored a lot. He got 30, 26 from Ryan Brewster, 19 as well from Ollie McBurney.
Pleased with that. 3 players.
Is good.
3 players up there, so yeah, it's good.
Centre midfielder even getting 12
Yeah.
and 13, so that's decent. Let's have a look at my Burnley side. 28 from Weghorst. Has he signed a new deal? He hasn't, so it looks like he will be leaving. Will he enter a new contract? No. So yeah, he's definitely gone. So Mike Trezor with 21 and 12 assists though. Aaron Ramsey with 17 and 14. Joe Rego 14 and 14 in his first season. And a good average rating too.
Yeah.
Still don't think he's quite good as what I'd need to make him to keep him in that side. Charlie Patino.
Still only
grew quite
19 though,
nicely,
isn't
Yeah, that's the trouble. Needs another season probably of playing as much as possible. But there we go. It's a good start to the season. Transfer budget's going into the Premier League. 37. It's not bad.
Not bad, yeah.
Good high wage budget.
Yeah, probably give you an 80-40, wouldn't it?
41 for you.
Good
With a
wage
very
budget.
similar wage
Yeah.
budget.
That's fair. It's fair enough then.
Yeah, so you've roughly got about 45, 50
Yeah.
if you alter this a little bit in your favour. I've roughly got about 40. It's enough to do a job in the Premier League. It's not enough to like go, we're getting European football in the first season.
No.
You know the points. It's 2-1 to Dad. Let's move on to season number 2. Now, in terms of the transfer window, they don't come much better than the one I've just done at Burnley, I think.
Yeah.
Consider I lost. Without Weghorst, I needed a striker. I also sold £86 million worth of players. 3 of them went to the same Saudi club in Sander Berge, Amdouni, and Manuel Benson, all getting a good amount of money for that. That's the main crux of the 86 million that I managed to get. Also made a profit out of Leandro Mogala after 1 season. Didn't even play him either. And that allowed me to spend £55 million here, as well as pretty much £50 million there too. So, Ethan Ampadu was the first man that I signed from Leeds United who still didn't get promoted last season. So I made sure I popped the player off from them. And then Soumare from Leicester. So I've taken Leicester's centre defensive midfielder. Now, Leicester, if we look at that, got relegated last season. So if we got to the Premier League, we can see Leicester, Fulham and Ipswich all came down.
Is that going to be true?
And that's why I decided to sign a lot of their players. So Soumare was the first one that I decided to bring in. Good centre defensive midfielder. I also went for Leif Davis, the left back at Ipswich, English as well. A fantastic left back.
Yeah.
To be fair, there was a lot of people saying he should have been on the plane in the Euros because he's a left-footed left back.
Left-footed player, yeah. I mean, his crossing ability and taking corners and that, 16 and 17. You know, you can understand why he played so well in the Championship, really.
So he joins the club for £16 million. It's a good signing, really. But there's also more. Lorenzo Luca for £5 million. Couldn't believe it. He has just been injured, though, and he's out for like 3 weeks for knee ligaments. But signed him from Chelsea. He made the signing there. Scored 4 goals in 18 games. Probably all off the bench as well. They were. That's not bad, really.
No.
So £5 million for a player who got 4 goals off the bench for Chelsea. I'll take that. He's had the only worrying thing is he's played everywhere so far.
Yeah.
He is
don't
not
like to
stuck
settle,
around for a while. So 2 years is kind of his limit. I want to keep him for longer than 2 years, ideally. Hopefully he can stay for the whole 4. Alejandro Francis for £6.25 million. There's a reason why I've signed him. I wanted a more defensive right back than what I already had. Pedro Alvaro also joins the club. Maybe bit of a mistake. I don't think he'll actually play now that we've also got Ampadu as well at centre-back. But there we go. We've got a backup striker because Lorenzo Luca is my main striker. I needed a secondary one.
And he's good as well.
He's decent as well, yeah. 22-year-old Nigerian from Victoria Paulsen. Got 10 goals last season. And then finally, this is probably the reason why I didn't need that second centre-back. I spent £18 million on Bitshiabu, who has the potential to be a world-class centre-back, but for now, just needs the game time. Left-footed as well, great pace and acceleration and strength. He can cope with Premier League, the pace of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what I'm hoping. Played 3 games already for me. Might have struggled a little bit, but we'll see. There's a reason why I've gone for a very similar tactic to the Pentagon Challenge. And if you want to have a look at the Pentagon Challenge, I'll leave that at the end of the video. But I was losing every single game. So I went and plugged in almost the same tactic as my Pentagon Challenge. You'll see there is a few different changes. For instance, there's the halfback, and sometimes I don't use the halfback there, and instead of the Tracatista, I've used an attacking midfielder with, of course, the target forward. I am nailing in Joe Rego into that position there, because if I don't, it gets changed out. And Masengo as well, who's just come back from his loan and done a good job actually on loan. 30 games in La Liga with a decent average rating for the type of player he is. So Bitshiabu as well.
So what's the position you've locked them into? The
Segundo Volante.
Right.
So he will play there every single game, as well as the left centre back.
So you put both of them there on those positions.
Yeah. So if I did best 11, you'll see those all three disappear. Well, actually, to be fair, Bitshiabu does go in there, but from time to time, it was a little bit ropey whether he did or not. So I kind of want to keep that avoiding. I want the players to be in there that I need them to be. Because as you've seen, haven't won a game in the Premier League yet. We've only played 3, but I haven't even scored a goal yet, despite having Lorenzo Luca. I got stuffed against Palace, but Brentford and Newcastle beat me 1-0 as well. I did go through the next round by beating West Brom in the EFL Cup. But yeah, I need to change things around quick, because else I'll be out the door. There'll be no more points. I'll have minus 10 points for being sacked, and there'll be no more rebuilds. So, Dad, let's have a look at you and see how you've done. Now, you've spent a lot less, which surprises me, to be honest. But you didn't manage to get rid of many players. Only £11 million then, £6 million for Max Lowe, both going to Ipswich Town, staying in the Championship. So, the players you did bring in. Matteo Prati was the first guy, and I can see why you spent £21 million on him.
Yeah, good midfield player. Just sort of strengthens the midfield up, which is what I wanted. He'll go straight into the first team, definitely. So
yeah, plays it in so many different player roles as well.
That's an advantage as well, isn't it?
Then you've got a couple of fullbacks coming in, so a couple of cheap fullbacks too.
Well, I was just thinking, I wanted to strengthen the squad, and I just couldn't get the caliber of player that was going to be better than what I've already had. So I've decided to go for cheaper players, which are just as good. So that they're sat there, if they get an injury, these guys will come in, because I don't think they actually do get into my starting line.
Okay. Then you got Taylor Harwood-Bellis on a free transfer.
Yeah.
Centre back there. Marco Birch is a player I've never heard of before, but he's a Swiss centre back. So
good one as well,
left-footed as well.
Yeah.
And then finally, Paul Nobel from Mainz, £6.75 million.
Another good midfielder, plays
you,
in two positions really.
Yeah, good centre attacking midfielder though.
Yeah, but like you say, he's a squad player that just, if you do get a problems, he will be there.
Yeah, 22-year-old as well, so he's quite young still. Have him for the long period of time. And your schedule, your tactics, you've gone a little bit different to what you was last season.
I just felt
very similar to mine in a way.
I just felt that I couldn't play 3 up front, and so I dropped one back into the shadow strikers role.
I would say you've only got 3 defensive roles in a Premier League is going to be tough, but it's been proving me wrong so far, because in the Premier League games you have not lost in 3. You've drawn against Nottingham Forest and Manchester City.
That's a hell of a result, isn't it? Drawing against City
at the Etihad as well, and stuffed Everton 3-2.
Yeah. Good start.
Good result there. Also, through the next round, you beat Doncaster 3-0 in the FL Cup second round. So everything's looking positive for you, Dad, but for me, it's looking very dull and gloomy. What is going to happen in the second season? Let's simulate it and find out after I tell you about Manscaped, because it's sweaty ball sack summer. You need to do something about it. Yes, I'm here to announce that it's time to start celebrating the smooth sack summer. And with our friends at Manscaped, we can make sure that this is the smoothest summer yet. Because the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the ultimate bundle to keep your boys downstairs cool while you're still looking hot. And of course, using my code OMEGA gives you 20% off and free shipping when you go to manscaped.com at the checkout. And that's on all Manscaped products. So with that discount in mind, take a moment to consider getting the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra just in time for the summer holidays, because it has everything you need to prepare for that summer bod. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra has 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, a standard trimmer to take a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go as smooth to the skin as you like. And now that you trim the boys up, use Manscaped's liquid formulations to keep him nice and fresh. starting with the Crop Soother Aftershave Lotion and the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafe Board Deodorant. And once they touch your sack, you'll never go back. Manscaped have even thrown in a couple of free gifts, including the travel bag. Not to mention, if you want a shaver, Manscaped's Beard Hedger Pro Kit is arguably the best around, with a dial to set the length you desire without having to change to 3 or 4 separate guards. And remember to head to manscaped.com and use my link in the description. It will take you straight there, and use the code OMEGA at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. And have a cracking summer. Okay, on the final day.
Oh no!
I was buzzing with my 12th place finish, and then I was like, "Oh, where have you gone?" Bournemouth won on the final day.
All I needed was a draw.
Looks like they beat Southampton. Rivalry as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Southampton.
Who did I lose
lost against Norwich or Villa by the looks of it. So let's go over to you. Relegation. You still haven't been sacked. Oh my God, it's not looked good.
No.
The only team that let you in was Tottenham since New Year's Day.
So the 1st of January, I won 1 game.
Yeah, the rest were only in cups.
How didn't I get sacked?
I don't know. I don't know. You were taking Tonkin after Tonkin as well, like 6-1, 3-0,
I had some bad injuries.
5-2.
That's just a real bad change, isn't it?
I mean, there's nobody injured right now. Your medical centre, you can see injury history. You had a couple of major ones. So broken collarbone in February. Matteo Prati was out for 5 weeks. Paul Nobel with a broken toe was out for 7 weeks. Wes Fotheringham, keeper, 4 to 5 weeks. I don't know if you've bought a better keeper or not. There's a couple that's out for a little bit there, but
dear.
Not like huge amounts, but there's a few in there.
Yeah,
but that's cost you big time.
Awful.
Cameron Archer with 19 goals. Still going down into the championship again.
At one stage, in the middle of the season, to last roughly where January
is 7th,
and I just lost it from there, didn't I?
You were 7th. You were never in the relegation zone
to the last game of the season
until you lost the last game of the season.
Oh dear.
You're never in the relegation zone. You were in 7th on the 1st of January. That is a steep decline.
Awful. I only had to win 1 more game and I'd have been alright.
Look at me surviving. I was on the cusp of relegation for so long. Look at that. Boom, up into 12th. Arsenal won the league. There's a couple of surprise people in the goals there. James Maddison getting 18 goals.
Yeah.
As well as Sasha Kaladzic as well. None of our players. Oh, Leif Davis is there with player of the match. Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah, we did say he was good, didn't we?
Yeah. We're on Sheffield United. We've seen your goals. There's not a lot going on down there.
That's the problem. When you look at one person scoring 19 and then the next one 8, 7, 5.
Yeah.
You can understand why I
deteriorate quite fast.
Didn't win any games.
You still got given £16 million for next season. Burnley, though. Oh, I haven't looked at the competitions for Burnley. 3rd round and 5th round. Never mind. We'll move on. Squad. I had less goals than you, Dad. 17 from Lorenzo Luca, 6 from Joe Rego, 5 Lyle Foster.
Goes to show you just won enough games at the end of the season and I didn't win any. So
yeah.
And we swapped places, really.
Results at the end of the day. Now, speaking of results, I beat you there in February, which we did see. What about the earlier fixture? It was a draw, so you didn't gain any points from that.
No.
So, I mean, we've never had I don't think we've ever had a relegation in the versus rebuild.
Well, there we go. We have now.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, and you remember if you've watched every single versus rebuild, but I don't think we've had a relegation, which means we've never had a points thing for it. So we're not going to do one now. To be fair, that evens it out that if you win the championship next season, or the championship last season, to be fair, you don't get any points.
I mean, the only good thing for you really is you know you're going to get 1 point next season on me. So.
Yeah, I get 1 point finishing higher next season.
I mean, that's the only good thing for me, really. I know I'm only going to lose 1-0.
Yeah. I could win a cup.
Yeah, true, yeah.
I could win the league.
Yeah, you could do,
Who knows? There's no European football, but I could do the
Well, I could hope
still.
there's only 1-0 next season.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. I mean, I get another point there as well as finishing higher, so that's 2 points, but you don't get any points for being taken off you for being relegated. Really? You've got treble that, and you're going down a division. That's mental. I haven't even got any wage budget either. I don't know what I'm going to do with this team. There's a couple of players who I wanted. Maybe I could get... he's only off a loan. That I could get some money for, but... might struggle myself. I might be joining you down in the championship next season.
Yeah.
If you stay there. Alright then, let's have a quick look at the points tally at the end of Season 2. Well, the season points are Omega Luke with 2, Omega Dad with 0, which means the total points after Dad's relegation is Omega Luke with 3, Omega Dad with 2. Well, Dad, you sold a few players. You managed to sell a couple of players there. There's actually another £9 million going out there. Definitely spent some money.
Yeah, 80, 90 million.
So,
Total in the end.
Let's have a look. We've got Iheanacho coming in from Southampton. So he's actually moved around quite a few championship clubs now.
Yeah.
He's was at Leicester, now Sheffield United from Southampton.
Good
Neil
striker.
Mopai.
Yeah.
You love this guy, don't you?
Nope.
James Tarkowski from Everton. £3 million.
Good solid defender, I think this guy is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to strengthen the squad as well. And he might not start, but he is good when you get an injury. So there, really.
Vasquez, nearly £10 million on a
Yeah.
left-footed centre back there. Good aggression. The top half there is quite good.
Yeah.
Mexican centre back from Genoa. Then Canizares. Now, of course, his dad was the famous Spanish goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Canizares. That's his son, Lucas Canizares. Of course,
And he's
of
a good
Valencia.
keeper as well.
Yeah, he came through the Real Madrid youth academy.
Yeah.
Went to Huesca in that first season. Had a couple of really good seasons. 14 clean sheets in La Liga 2 there.
He's got 2 for me already, so
He's
I'm
got
pleased
2
with that.
for you. Yeah, looks like a decent goalkeeper at age
Yeah.
24. That's good for the Patreon and channel members. Should you wish to take on the save at the end of the 5 years, you could take over Dad's Sheffield United team when they finally make it back into the Premier League after being in the Championship for 3 seasons. Or you can take over my Burnley side after we've just won the Premier League and the Champions League in back-to-back years. We'll have to see when that all comes into fruition. That's on patreon.com/Mega Gaming or on join button channel memberships. On the £5 tier, you get the save game file. Maybe you just want to steal the tactics. You can do that as well. Thank you, everybody, for who does that,
Yeah,
by the
thank
way.
you.
You pay for Dan to be sat here with me right now. Then the rest of the signings, Yannick Vestergaard on a free transfer. That's a good signing as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good experienced centre back as well.
Bit slow,
So
but
I've got
that's
2
the
good
only thing.
experienced centre backs really,
Yeah.
if I need them.
Keaton Parks from New York City.
Yeah.
That's the guy that when we did the MLS rebuild, I just can't get rid of Keaton Parks. I've got to keep Keaton Parks. There's so many trade offers come in for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Albert Grönbeck, £8.25 million from Spurs.
Good player this one.
He's
Pleased to get on.
resorted to buying bloody Spurs players
Yeah,
now.
of course I am.
And then Dominic Solanke, £23 million.
I felt I needed that sort of like that one striker that you sort of think is good enough to be in this league by a country mile. When you get into the Premier League, you can still use him as well. So this is the guy I brought in.
Back to back,
Yeah.
14 goals.
So I'm hoping. I
in
mean,
the
you look at
Premier
him now.
League.
He's already 2 goals, 2 assists,
Two
and
player
2 player of the
matches.
matches as well. So that's not bad out of 6 games, is it?
Yeah, solid. Tactically then, gone back to what you was.
Well, it done me well the first season,
Yeah.
so I've gone back to it again. So yeah, same tactic, just a few different players, really. Hopefully stronger.
It does look like a stronger side.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. In the championship, we'll have a look at your schedule because it's not going to spoil anything. Right? It's not going to show my results unless we play each other in the FL Cup. That would just be unlucky.
Here we go.
But there you go. Started off with a draw, but then the rest of it, win.
Yeah.
All the way through, even beating the likes of Brighton there in the EFL Third Round Cup.
So pleased with that
Win
start.
against
I
Southampton.
mean that to me was like when I won that game, I thought, right, I'm in with a chance of winning this league. But if
Yeah.
I'm going to beat Southampton, then you're in with a chance, really.
Stevenage have done well to get
Yes.
come up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Be quite surprised with that to see them in the championship there. But yeah, all's looking good for you, Dad, in the championship. If we have a look at the season preview, it does actually put you as very big favourites to go back up alongside Fulham. But let's have a look at the Burnley side that I have been building because £107 million going out in total in terms of the players from last season as well. But if you go by just recent, there's £12 million there from Aaron Ramsey, Josh Cullen going for 7.5. A lot of players leaving on free transfers as well. £24 million gone out with Mike Trezor being £20 million of that. That's because I binned off the type of player that I needed for him. And I brought in Karim Kanate, £15 million for a very good pacey striker there, only 22 years of age. But this one's probably my favourite signing, Lamine Camara from Metz. He is a very good centre midfielder in terms of centre midfielder on attack, that kind of role that I absolutely love. And he gets forward whenever possible. It's a perfect player, in my opinion, for that role. Off the ball at 16, arriving late. With off the ball at 16, good enough composure, the vision and the work rate when he does have the ball at his feet to pass it. This guy's quality. Then we've got £14 million spent on Buonani from Nice. Can fill in on that right-hand side there. Left-footed, he probably won't start because he's not really rated that highly right now, but it's one for the future for me. Pontus Dahlberg, because I didn't realise I only had one goalkeeper. So, Pontus Dahlberg comes in. It's quite a cheap one, actually, and to be fair, he's just as good as
Not
James
bad.
Trafford.
Yeah.
Tactically then, gone for a 4-2-2, but I've got a half-back in there. I've got a centre midfield on attack. Kanate goes in that advanced forward. I haven't put in Joe Rago because finally he goes in naturally.
Yeah.
Love to see that. So it does actually have Lyle Foster and Luca up front, which is the reason why I put Kanate in there. So hopefully he plays more games. But the rest of the side I was kind of happy with. Joe Rago after 2 good seasons. Look at that development already. Solid.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
My schedule so far, the second season in the Premier League. I've got 1 win against West Ham. But the rest of them, to be fair, difficult games. Man City and Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's not the 2 games you want to start the season off with,
No.
is it?
Lost to Wolves on penalties in the EFL Cup. Drew 0-0 with them in the same stadium 4 days later. So difficult September. In fact, going into October is hard. We've just got to keep our job into November.
Yep.
That's what I've got to hope for. And then into December, where it's got so many of the teams around me all playing such a short space of time.
Yeah.
That's where I need to pick up a lot of wins. Season number 3. Dad's in a different division right now, but let's see how we get on. Can he join me back in the Premier League, or will we just switch? And I hope not. Anyway, let's find out. Okay, Burnley, 11th place. I'll take it.
Yeah, you were there for the whole of the season, by the looks of it, in that position.
Yeah, so that is good enough, mate. Spurs won the league.
What's wrong with that?
Things you just don't see, ever. Past positions, Burnley, yeah, I just stayed dead nine.
You had that bad start, like you said, and when you got to playing the teams that was around you, up you went.
Yep.
Well
Absolutely. So, got to be proud of that.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Luca, second top scorer of the league, only behind Erling Haaland with 23. So, that's good. He also had one of the highest average ratings as well, and one of the most player of the matches. So, yeah, he really pulled through for our side this year. Probably without him, we would have been down in the relegation zone. Speaking of relegation zone, where was Dad? No cup competitions. Over to Dad. Champions.
Over 100 points again.
And you stayed there the whole
Yep.
season. Comfortably
Pleased with
up
that.
there. Playoff final. Southampton's finally coming up, so that's good. But yeah, you absolutely dominated. Solanke with 25. You had the 3 highest average rating. In fact, you had 4 out of the 5 with Marius Wolf there as well. Solanke had the 2nd highest amount of man of the matches. Really solid. Only lost 4 games, Dad, in one of the hardest divisions.
Yeah, pleased with that.
I've got to be happy with Plymouth Argyle, look.
Yeah.
7th place. You even lost to them as well. Oh, that's unfortunate
I was
for them.
gutted then.
Steve Cooper. I would have minded that.
Yeah, I would have preferred that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Actually-
No. Wayne's going to do it.
Yeah.
Wazza Rooney.
I remember when I asked you about when Argyle lost their manager, he was one of the managers that you did say to me, I wouldn't mind him coming down here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he'd be really good.
Yeah.
Never know what he's looking at. So
No, you don't. Right, can you do this, and everybody's in the change room like,
Yeah,
aren't they?
'cause he-
Who's doing that?
if you've ever watched a Steve Cooper interview, he has to do this if he wants to look at you straight. Because his eyes, it's a funny looking man, but cracking manager.
Cracking manager, yeah.
So, Dad, you're joining me in the Premier League next season. Cup
Pleased to be
competitions.
back again.
In both. Wow.
Lost the semi-final to Man City. That was
3-0, you were tonked.
Yeah.
They beat Tottenham in the final, so you didn't have a domestic double, unfortunately,
No.
Tottenham. But runners
beat me
up,
in the final.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Just 1-0 as well.
Could have done with that, couldn't I?
That is mental. Let's have a look at your run. So, 3rd round, you knocked out Brian, which we've seen. 4th round, knocked out Crew Alexandra.
That's right, you take the easy ones.
You're going to push your way
You
to
still
the
gotta,
final.
yeah, you still got to do it, though, aren't you?
Quarter-final, Bournemouth. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. There's a cracking time there, like 5-4.
Oh, they can do all the hard work for me.
And then semi-final, you knocked out Bristol City.
You got to have the look of it. When you're one of the smaller teams, you need that look of the draw, don't
Oh,
you?
yeah, you only
You know?
have 1 Premier League.
Yeah.
2, because you have Brighton as
Yeah.
well. Let's have a look at your goals then. 30 for Dominic Solanke, 24
better.
for Cameron Archer,
Good sign,
20 for Neil Mopai. Even a couple of 14s there. Not bad, really. Your budget for going into the Premier League, 40 million.
Lower than I thought it would be, you know.
Well, you had 50 million last time. You couldn't stay
Maybe
up.
you're 50 million when you go down. What do they want me to do now? Oh, I've got to take it, haven't I? Got to take it.
I got 27 goals for Lorenzo Luca, 18 for Kareem Kanate, Joe Rago. This was his breakout season.
Yeah.
How good is he now? I mean, attribute-wise, yes. Performance-wise, no. 6 goals, 3 assists, and a bang average
Yeah.
rating. That is quite bad, actually.
But then you're looking at next season, then could be a season, isn't
He
it?
should be, yeah. Bit Shiabu as well, look. This is what I mean. I needed to put my faith in 17 for pace and strength. You ain't getting past him. He's got 15 in anticipation as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
As long as he can see you, you ain't getting past him. And he can also bloody jump. He's 6'5" with 16 jumping reach. You ain't winning the ball against him. I'm looking good. European football next season, I reckon. Yeah, easy.
You reckon?
Put my faith in Bichiabu and Joe Rego. Hopefully I just keep hold of Lorenzo Luca. He's wanted by a lot of clubs. Just keep hold of him. Speaking of... I've got to say, less than you again. Back-to-back seasons where I've done well. We didn't play each other. There was just one extra point.
Yeah.
So, the season that you had going down below, I mean, maybe in the future we do add a relegation thing or something like that, but we didn't really do it because we haven't ever had that situation before. But I just gained 1 point for finishing higher. So the points are now 4-2.
I nearly won the cup.
I know. Yeah, but imagine if you won one of the cups.
I'd have more points than you've been in the
You'd
lower
have
league.
more points and you got relegated. When the whole point of this is to rebuild relegated teams.
Yeah.
It's like, I stayed in the championship, but I won because I won one cup and they just avoided in the rest of it.
The problem is, we always call it the Sheffield United, the Lutons, all the yo-yo teams, don't we? That's exactly what I'm doing at the moment. I've gone up, down.
I'll say you go back down again next time. But yes, the score is only 4-2 on the points, so we'll just have to have a look at the next season. Right, Dad, your second season.
Yes.
In the Premier League. So technically, this is like a second rebuild.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Of the same club. You sold £32 million worth of players. Taylor Harwood-Bellis gone for 14, so got him a free transfer. There's a little bit of profit there. £15 million worth of Jaden Bogle. And Adam Sorensen has also left for 2.6. He spent £76 million. Keeper coming in Kovacevic.
I needed a good reserve keeper. This is the one I brought in for it.
Yeah, he's decent. Leonardo Stergiou.
Yeah, another stronger centre back. I felt I needed my defence just needed to be a little bit stronger again, I feel. So I'm trying to strengthen the squad with defenders as well.
Cesar Montez. Yeah. Signing so many players.
I mean, the problem was as well, was finding the players of the calibre that I needed to stay in this league.
Yeah.
And it was quite difficult. I mean, I was pleased with this guy. He's at left back.
He's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
A lot of 14s in there.
That was a signing that I felt that was going to go straight into my team.
Yeah.
Where the rest of the signings I was doing, it was like, I'm signing them and I'm thinking to myself, are they going to make my first team, or is it just going to be the same calibre of player that I've already got there?
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't get anything better than that was willing to come to me. I mean, there's another right back there, and he's good, but is he first team player, or is he going to be a reserve? And that's the type of players that I was signing. So I'm just hoping, really, they were better than the last season I was in the Premier League.
Yeah, and then there's another £11 million on a CDM
on a defensive midfielder, sort of like, that's what I really went for.
Okay, so tactically, did you stick with your three up top? You did, but you changed it slightly midfield.
I changed this formation the last game before we started simulating tonight, because I started off really, really bad.
Yeah, that's right. So your best 11, that is your best 11 pick there.
So I tried to bring in all the best players that I had in those positions. As you can see, my right back's there, my left back's there, the defensive midfielders there. So I had two really good defensive midfielders, and I felt like because of the way I'd started this season, I really needed to sort of like just really defend it and hope that I get through the season. I thought if I can get through one season, then I can improve on what I've got.
Build on it.
Yeah, there's my start.
I mean, you won one game.
Yeah.
Beat Bournemouth 3-1, but it's the rest of it.
I wasn't too bad. That was a game.
Aston Villa's again.
It's one of those games with Villa, you think, should I or shouldn't I? And I thought, I'm not disappointed. And then the next game I beat Bournemouth, I think, right, I'm on my way now.
Yeah.
Then you look at, I've got Man City now, and you think, all right, I'll take the lose. Derby in the cup, and I lost, but then I got Southampton, and I'm thinking, I should be losing that game.
Yeah, but it's away from home. It's 4-3. You put up a good fight. It's just one of those ones where it could have gone either way.
You need to win those games, though, don't you?
Yeah.
To stay in this league.
But I don't know. I don't know whether you might have been too drastic with those changes. Let's have a look. Let's see what I've done in the transfer budget. I've only got £1 million left, which suggests I spent a lot. Jordan Byer's gone to Al Nassr. I've got a nice little partnership with them. They just keep buying any players that I want to get rid of. £25 million there. I also sold the backup striker. Never really played, for £2.2 million. But what I did do, I brought in two players for roughly £20 million. So the first one being Joe Gomez from Wolves, who I think were relegated last season. So yeah, they're not in the league this time round. He had a relegation release clause, so that was an easy pickup for me. And then we got two free transfers in Kevin Danso. I think he's fantastic, playing for Lens. And then Enzo Leo Dice, something like that. Really good midfielder who does like good on the ball.
Yeah.
Very good on the ball. Great composure, decision making, teamwork and vision and that kind of stuff. And then a fantastic right back. I basically splashed most of my money on a good right back in Sergio Carrera, who in his first game got sent off. But For the rest of the season, he should be good for me.
Yeah,
He's got
definitely.
1 assist in 3 games that he has played so far. Tactically, I've gone for a narrow diamond, and there's a Trecatista in there. Now, I never use a Trecatista because I always think, no, I want my players to be working hard. But when my team is not quite as good and I have a player that is a star man like Joe Rego, he gets the Trecatista role. He is phenomenal. He needs that Trecatista role. I don't want him to be doing anything defensively. I just need to focus on him, all of our attacks going through him, and creating enough chances for us to stay up and possibly even finish top half this season, progress from what we had last season. So,
Big gamble.
it is a gamble, but the rest of the
Premier League,
side,
you
I
need to be
think,
working, don't you?
can keep hold of. We've got a
Yeah.
half-back with drop-ins. We've got basically a 3 at the back. The two wing-backs will push on forward. Mazzala and a centre midfielder on attack in that midfield there. And then, of course, the 2 up front.
I mean, you know your left
last
back's
season.
going to be bombing down that wing, isn't he?
Yeah, Leif Davis is quality, really.
Yeah.
So hopefully Carrera can do the same. Let's have a look at my schedule then. So far, it started off with a 2-1
That's a hell of a
win
result.
against Arsenal. That's where Sergio Carrera got sent off for a second yellow. So if anything, hero.
Yeah.
That's probably one of those ones who's like, good tackle, good red card, did it for the team, sacrificed himself, took one for the team.
It could well have been as well, couldn't
Yeah,
it?
because then he only missed 1 game, which we actually did draw against Everton. We beat Crystal Palace 2-1. Joe Rego and Karim Konate with the 2 goals there.
Good away game, that.
1 against Grimsby, just 1-0. Then we beat West Ham 2-0. Lorenzo Luca, Joe Rego, lost to Man United in the Cup. But in the Premier League right now, I'm currently sat on points with
Joint
Man
top.
City. So we'll see how long that lasts. And they've just bought Jamal Musiala. So, yeah, that's the type of players that they're dealing with. £108 million he joined last season. Well, January, by the looks of it, 'cause he only played 14 games. So, yeah, I mean,
Look
let's
where I
see
am,
where
look.
we are.
Look where I am. Look, oh, no.
At the end of the season. It's season number 4. Tottenham are somehow won the league last year. We'll see if they can do that this time round and simulate this 4th season. Okay, we both survived. Hey, I said European football next year.
You got it, yeah? Oh, yeah.
6th place. I was in 5th for ages
Yeah.
as well.
Well done.
And I stayed in 6th. You survived, Dad, though.
I'm pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased with that.
And
That's what I needed.
You're still in a job.
Yeah.
So that's good. Europa League.
I was-
I was so close. Oh, 6 points off of Champions League football next season. But I will take that.
I was 10 points clear, so I'm happy
Yeah,
with
you were
that.
fine.
Yeah.
You had a bad end of the season, though.
Again.
Yeah. 6-1, I beat you in those final 4 games. Wow.
That was awful.
You lost 19 times. I beat you 6-1. I'll give you your biggest tonking of the season.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Enjoyed that. North London is winning the Premier League quite a lot, though, because Arsenal have won it this season. Lorenzo Luca with 19. Can't see any other players there, so we'll have to dive in a little bit more. We're on Burnley. Competitions. Quarterfinals by Wolves. 3rd round, which we already knew, in the Carabao Cup. Did you do it? Did you? I know you probably were seeing it there. 5th round by Burnley.
Give you a Royal Hammer this season, didn't you?
Come on, let's have a look at that. That's another 2 points for beating you and knocking you out of the competition.
Yeah.
The FA Cup, the competition you love the most as well. 2-1.
I do, yeah.
Plymouth Argyle got further than you this season.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
In that competition. Sheffield United then, let's see how many times. So that's 1 point. We already counted that one as well. In the earlier fixture, it was a 0-0 draw at Bramall Lane. So no points for you this season, Dad.
No.
But I get a point for staying up, a point for beating you, and 2 points for knocking you out of the FA Cup. That's 4 points for me this season. Let's see what that totals up to in a second. Before we see 13 goals from Cameron Archer. Neil Mopai with 12. It's low, Dad. What happened to him?
there?
I thought
Yeah.
you must have sold him.
Yeah.
6 goals.
Don't know what happened there at all.
He absolutely crapped the bed, didn't he? That's terrible. 63 million next year. I've got European football. I better get that. So I got 22 goals from Lorenzo Luca. Joe Rego, 16 and 10, and it's looking really good. Oh, he's unhappy. Oh, Joe, what's the matter, mate? What's the new deal?
That's all right.
He's happy to stay. There was a time when his contract was running out after the 2nd season that I had him, and he wouldn't sign a new deal. And then it got to the end of the season, and he had signed a new deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely,
I
yeah.
almost lost him on a free transfer there. But how has nobody come in and gone, we want this guy?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because even for £85 million from a top 4 club, it's probably worth it.
Yeah.
They're probably looking at that type of player right now.
I mean, his physicals are brilliant.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. I mean, the pace, acceleration, that agility and balance, just so tricky. And he's quite strong, considered 12 for a centre attacking midfielder is decent. And he's 6 foot as well. It's like a Kai Havertz type of player.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
So
very good.
I'm happy with that one. He wants to sign a new deal. You will get that new deal. I'm going to buy him a new bloody house at this rate. Karim Konate is a little bit disappointing, though, unfortunately. But there we go. My transfer budget, you had £60 million. I've got 24. I've got European football next season. What are you doing? A lot of debts going on, I think. That's the trouble. Still got 100% of the transfer revenue made. So, okay. Let's tally up the points and see what happens. So the season points, as I mentioned, was Omega Luke with 4, Omega Dad with 0, which means the total points is Omega Luke with 8, Omega Dad still with 2. All right, 5th and final season.
Got to be a big season for me. I only scored 2 points.
Yeah.
So and I scored them the first season.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a tricky one for you
in
this rebuild so far, but
I've managed to survive, so I'm pleased now. Now I can sort of I'm saying I want to build on it, but when I'm looking at the players I'm trying to buy, I just couldn't get anybody in that sort of outstanding, sort of make you think, right, this is the season to go for it. You're going to see by the buys that I'm looking at now, I'm thinking to myself again, I've just survived. What am I doing wrong? And I'm sort of looking at it and thinking, I'm conceding too many goals. I'm not winning games. You lose a game by conceding goals, don't you? So I'm trying to make my defence a little bit stronger again. And I think this is where I was spending most of my money on trying to come up with a good defence. I think that was the problem I was getting. I couldn't get the calibre of defence that I actually needed to keep me in this league. And I was chopping and chopping and chopping, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a word with me once, and you said, "How many defenders are you actually going to buy?" And
are you stalling for a violinist? I mean, this sob story's going on for a while.
Yeah, but I did say at the
beginning. I haven't even seen the transfers yet.
We did say at the beginning of the video, didn't we?
We had 2 minutes of making excuses.
We did say at the beginning of the video, didn't we? My strike force was very good, and I added to that, and I've always scored goals, but I'm still conceding goals, and I dread to think how many defenders I've signed in this video.
Oh, it's close to 40.
It's got to be.
Let's have a look at the next crop.
Yeah.
So actually, you've had some good signings on this page.
Yeah.
On the next page, I think all of them were trash.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. Sofiane Diop for £26 million. He's a good winger.
Yeah.
Arguably, you want to get him earlier on because he does develop a little bit. It doesn't look like he has developed much here. Looks like he's kind of neglected for a little bit. Probably, he played a lot off the bench for Nice. Fortunately, until Norwich got hold of him and gave him a couple of good games. Then you got Mario Dorgiles for £7.25 million. A cracking CDM, really. Because he's got natural fitness, the strength, the positioning, work rates, all of the good stuff that you want. Like a solid ball winner, ball destroyer. Yeah. And then finally, Stanisic there from Barcelona for £16 million is, again, a good centre-back.
And he plays right across the whole of the defence. So I felt that he was a good player to get in.
Yeah.
If you get an injuries anywhere, you know he's just going to move across. So
yeah. But now it's time to get the hankies out, because this is where Dad's going to cry. Honestly, I thought, what is going on here? I thought we hadn't even looked at you. We were on mine. I was going to go with mine to begin with. And then look at Dad's. Then Dad went on this monologue talking about, all the misery he was having. I thought, Christ, all right. Vojvoda from Roma. Yep. 33 he was. Free transfer. He ain't bad, but Dad signs every time. Then he spent $5 billion on a 33-year-old again.
To be honest, I know they were 33, but I'm just getting them in. I needed to survive. I needed to do something this season, so I needed to stop conceding goals. I know I got the strike force to score goals, so I had to get players in that could hopefully do it.
Do you know what my suggestion would have been? Not spending £25 million on a right back that doesn't even get into your first team.
I know, but
I would have accumulated
he's going to go in.
All the money and all the wages on that on just one good centre-back to go alongside Stanisic.
I couldn't get anybody in. I was looking at centre-backs every time. Left side and right side, and I just couldn't. That's why I ended up getting the old guys in again. They were the only ones that would come to me.
We're on centre-backs. I'm on Dad's scouting. There's one. He's already better. Antov. He's in your scouts. Your scouts found him. He's a better centre-back. He would have gone alongside Stanisic. Better positioning. Way better than the Turkish guy that you signed. You've changed tactic, gone for a 4-2-2, which
I've gone for a little bit more attack, because in the Premier League it does pay you to go for a little bit more attacking. So yeah, I defended
Yeah, let's invite more goals.
Well, I'm trying to make sure I score more goals this time. I played very defensive last season. The season before I was in the Premier League, didn't I? And I got relegated. So I thought I'm not doing the same mistake again. So the 2 centre backs are in. Look, once I got in, they're in.
And the 8 that he signed last season are all sat on the bench.
All sat there. Look. Emerson Royal keep him company, wouldn't he?
Yeah. God, I bet he's a blast.
He's up for a laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, I cost 25 million. I did. Did you really, Emerson?
Do you want a blanket as well? Keep us warm.
Oh my God! Right.
Oh no.
So let's have a look.
At least me wingers in as well. So
yeah,
3 players are all in. Oh no. I mean, you look at my first 2 games. Arsenal, Man City, 5-1, 5-1, and I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble.
10-2 on aggregate after 2 games.
I was chuffed
Lost
to bits
7.
when I beat Barnsley.
Yeah, he celebrated, guys, when he beat Barnsley. I went, you just beat Barnsley. You went, yeah, they're in the Premier League though. And I went, no, in the Championship. Lost to Brentford, then beat Forest, who are also in the Championship, by the way.
Right.
In the Cup.
So I was just hoping, really, that when you win a game, it sort of like gets your momentum going, and that's what I was hoping for, really.
Yeah, 0 points from 4 so far. You can see I've actually done quite well, so we haven't actually had a look at mine yet. We were going to look at it first, but then Dad went on about the players. Yeah, exactly. I genuinely thought, is he stalling for something? Is somebody about to come in? What is going on here? Okay.
I'm going to win a cup this season. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones. I might get relegated, but I also win a cup.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be at the club. Okay, so the signings that I made, I think I had quite a nice little shrewd transfer window. I did sell James Trafford, which was the 2nd season in a row that I've accepted a big offer for James Trafford. It was only this season he decided to leave. £26 million, and instead I brought in Jordan Pickford. Now, I don't normally like signing a player that is in their 30s, however, goalkeeper.
You can go away with them, yeah.
And with good natural fitness. He's going to be good. I've seen Pickford play till he's like 38 on and still be decent. So I needed the English homegrown players, which is for registration purposes.
I was good at signing English players.
Yeah, you also signed 40 other players, which meant a couple of times they couldn't be. Anyway, we've done yours.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
I did
have problems registering some of my players, didn't I?
Right, Rodrigo Ribeiro, £18 million in total, £15 million up front. I bought him because I had a big injury in the season. Mohamed Diamonde also come in, free transfer. Didn't go in for him right away, but eventually he was there. So picked him up.
He was the one I tried to buy.
You also tried going for him as well, and he was like, yeah, right, and came to me. And that's all the signings I made. I did sell a couple of players though. Masengo went and Koleosho went. Some Burnley fans might be going, why didn't you ever play Koleosho? The first season I actually loaned him out for 27 games. The second season he didn't play that much. The third season when we actually had wingers, again, didn't really play that much at all. So yeah, it just never really worked out for Koleosho. Neither did Odebear either. And so for wingers, I ended up going with a narrow formation in the end. So unfortunately, I'm sticking with the narrow diamond. I had to after how good that season was with it last season. And it's a very similar lineup, to be fair. In fact, the only change is the goalkeeper and Pickford coming in. Diamonde is kind of on the bench alongside Ribeiro, but as you can see, Kanate broke his ankle and he's out for 4 months. So he's going to be sat at home watching the games, which is going to leave Ribeiro and Lyle Foster to lead the line alongside Lorenzo Luca. Joe Rego, by the way. Oh, yes. It's been so long because of Dad's monologue, I forgot what he looked like. Schedule, then. 2 draws. Unfortunately, one was against newly promoted Wolves. That's a disappointing one. They've also got Ivan Toney as well, which I thought was an interesting one.
Scores a penalty as well.
Yeah. We also rescued a point against Man City. Antonio Silva scored for them. That's one of your favourite defenders there.
Yeah.
We got an equaliser in the 94th minute. Lovely stuff. Beat Everton 4-3. Beat Brentford 1-0. And Shrewsbury 3-0, which is where Karim Konate broke his ankle. So he's going to be out for a while. But again, I'm in Europe this season. I've got a bit of a small squad for Europe, so I'm not really anticipating much, if I'm honest. I just want to do well in the league and get European football, possibly Champions League football, for any channel members that wants to take it on. Antwerp, Trabzonspor, Casapia, Nice, Real Sociedad, Ludogorets, Braga and Rangers. Do you know what I find funny about this rebuild? It took us this long to get some kind of European football. Yeah. Very rare, isn't it?
It is.
Normally we're talking about European football, we're laughing at how much I hate Rennes or how much Dad loves Feyenoord. Hasn't happened. We haven't had a chance to. We've got no affiliation to any of these clubs whatsoever. Maybe we'd have to make something up. Oh, I heard Ludogorets a bit twats, aren't they? You'd have to make stuff up for a story, but no, never mind. Okay, so
How do you think you're
Europa
going to do
League.
then? It's one of those where
I'll qualify from that.
You reckon?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
those
I
two
think-
I should be winning
I
quite
think you
easy.
should, yeah.
Casapia as well,
Yeah,
to be
you should.
fair. The Ludogorets and Braga, Rangers, Sociedad and Nice will be the games that I think I'll either drop points and draw or lose.
Yeah.
Maybe get a cheeky win, who knows. And I'll be happy with that. I think that should easily finish me in the top 24, whatever it is, to go for the playoff spot. So far this season, it's been a good start for me. It's been an awful start for Dad. The excuses are already pouring out. But how does it all end? Because Dad could still win this somehow after
still in both-
relegated.
I'm still in both cups, and yeah, because I beat Forest, didn't I?
Yeah, you beat Forest.
I'm still in
You're
2 cups.
Still in 2 cups. You could still go on and win this somehow. Everybody's like, how has he survived all of this? Let's find out what happens at the end of season number 5. Season 5, come on! Champions League football.
Where are my team?
16.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in yellow, though.
No, I'm worried about that. Why not in yellow?
So I've got the violinist now.
Oh, they've sacked me.
Oh, amazing. What a tale of 2 stories this has been.
Yeah. I'm surprised it took them that long, really. I had a bad second season, didn't I?
Let's look at the positive. Lorenzo Luca, 43 goals this season. So, 74 points. That's 5 points off the top 3 as well. Finished comfortably in the top 4 by 7 points ahead of Tottenham, who have won the Premier League in this. Dash Everjide, you did survive.
Yeah.
You didn't. They did. So, the profile of the league, 23 goals for Lorenzo Luca, which meant another 20 was scored outside of this.
Yeah.
Could have gone through the latter stages of the Europa League. Let's find out in a second. So, let's look at when Dad was sacked. So, now they've got Henrik Rydström in charge of Sweden. They got rid of you, Dad, in December. So you were sacked in December, misleading that in it, 2 league wins. Yeah, it was the championship. And then that's when he took over in the start of the new year. So we need to remember that date because we probably have played each other before that, as then that would either be a point for either of us if there was a win there. You do, however, get -10 for being sacked from your job.
Only had 2
Which
points to start up.
I think means you don't win this one.
Yeah.
We might have to do a count. Well, we'll have a look. We're on Burnley still because we can't go to Sheffield United. We don't know how they've done. How did I do in the Europa League? Did I manage to get to the latter stages? Oh, what a season! Domestic double.
Got semi-finals.
Oh, 20. I should be beating them. Pens.
Oh. It'd have been Rennes.
No,
They lost to Fiorentina. That'd have been funny, wouldn't it?
Who missed? So they didn't miss one. Ribeiro and Kamara missed 2 penalties. Oh, gutted. That's so annoying. I won the first leg as well. Oh, I had loads of shots as well. Like their keeper had man of the match.
Mate,
Probably from saving the penalties.
You're talking about the game that you lost. Talk about the cups you won, mate.
I was going to say, I won 2 cups.
You won 2 cups in this. That's so...
With Burnley. Domestic double. Oh, stop
5-3.
Liverpool.
5-3.
Whoa. 4 goals in the final. Oh, good for Karim Konate as well. Broke his ankle earlier on in the season. Comes
on,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. How good has he got?
Yeah.
Since he broke his ankle. Did they put a new one on? That's mental. Joe Rego, though, with 4 goals. Oh, he is. I'll tell you what, he's making me horny.
I'm getting out.
That is football manager porn right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody at home who's really into this game goes, whoa. Yeah.
Got to be looking at him when he's young again, didn't you?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Good God, that is nice. Joe Rego, what a player. So we knocked him out. Well, we beat Liverpool in the final. We knocked out Southampton in the semi there. Quarter-final, knocking out Brighton. So we had quite an easy run. Oh, Arsenal on penalty. So it was a difficult one there.
Well done.
4th round, knocked out Blackburn in a replay. 3rd round, knocked out Everton 3-0. Carabao Cup. Who did we beat there? Yes. Could have asked for a better opponent in that final. 4-2. Who scored the goals in that one? Lamine Kamara, Ribeiro, Lorenzo Luca, and one final one from Ethan Ampadu. So good win again. Semi-final knocking out Portsmouth, who did quite well. Quarter-final knocking out Oxford. Christ. Fourth round, Blackburn again. I played Blackburn 3 times this season. They weren't even in my league. And then third round, Shrewsbury. So I had a very easy run into the final. But you've got to get there somehow. And we got there. We bloody won it. Domestic double with Burnley. I bet they give me loads of money now in season number 6.
You reckon?
Oh, it always happens, doesn't it? No matter when you do anything, it's always season number 6.
I'm going to predict then. You've been an averaging, what, 20 was it? You've been averaging?
40. And then last season was 20.
Oh, I'm going to go for 52.
I'm going to say they're going to give me 40 again.
You've been in the European. I mean, you got to the
you just got
semi-final.
the Europa League.
You've won both cups. Yeah. You've got to have at least 50.
I reckon they're going to give me 40. Just don't bother, lads. What's the point?
You've got such a good team. You don't need a budget.
To be fair, you'd have bought 4 players out of that. And they complained about it. Yeah. Good God.
Oh, no.
All right. Oh, the debts are quite bad. All right, well, let's have a look at the points, shall we? Well, the season points are Omega Luke with 7. Omega Dad with -9. Because he did beat Luke in a fixture before they were sacked. Meaning the total points are Omega Luke with 15. Omega Dad with -7. So yeah, Dad, it turns out that you beat me
before I got sacked.
Before you were sacked at the end of November. So you were sacked around about here. So that gave you an extra point.
I think the game that I lost, who did I lose that to?
It was the 12th, wasn't it? So I think when I lost to Villa, you lost to somebody else.
Yeah.
So it was on 9th, something like that. Yeah. West Ham. Lost 2-0.
Yeah, I lost to West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't a great start. Although you had won a couple of games in there. You beat Tottenham, drew to Man United and Liverpool. Beat Leeds, then beat me. I was quite surprised you got sacked there, to really. But there we go. Finished on -7 points.
That's bad. I think that's the worst.
Valiant effort.
I think that's the worst. I think it's the first I've been sacked, isn't it?
Yeah, it is one of the
on
first
a rebuild.
I've been sacked, yeah. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you have any other recommendations down in the comments. This has been quite a fun one, despite us obviously having a bit of a laugh. It has been a lot of fun. Remember, the Pentagon Challenge, if you haven't checked that out yet, here is episode 1 on the screen right now for you. I've had a blast of it. Make sure you go check out that series. And of course, check out Manscaped at the top of the description too. We'll see you next week for another Versus Rebuild. Bye-bye.